Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 23rd, 2022, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of today, Tesla stocks tumbles to 127. We've been watching it, but first looking at the major economic events of today at 3:30 South African time. Out of the United States, we have a PCE Core Price Index number coming out. Now, this number could be important. If there are any surprises, we will rattle and roll the markets. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, pretty much the major pairs consolidate in a very tight range. Where we're looking at the indices, the Dow Jones has one of these down and up days, almost 1,000-point range. Looking at the NASDAQ, does trickle lower. Now, looking at commodities, gold trickling lower below 1,800 to 1,795, and oil unchanged. Next, looking at the stock, tech stocks continue to show some weakness. And lastly, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin unchanged week to week. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we are, we're looking at the Euro USD, and you can see pretty much how much we've consolidated over the last couple of days. And this is really vacation or holiday season trading, and this is completely understandable. I mean, if we look at some of the other major pairs, the GBP also trading in a very tight range, the Australian dollar also just a little bit of a gain versus the USD, Canadian dollar also just across the board. When you look at the Forex symbols, they're all the majors are trading in a really tight range. What is interesting is that gold did retrace yesterday from 1820-ish level down to 1797. Now, again, this could be just a consolidation as it's getting into this upper area, okay? But keep an eye on it, because at some point it may correct itself on the downside, and that's something you do want to know about it, okay? Crude oil has really unchanged from day to day. If you look at it, it's really a very tight range. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, okay, this is what I'm talking about. A crazy day yesterday, the Dow Jones. We were at 33,700-ish level, hit that 200-day moving average, and look at that. We just sold off like no tomorrow, and then capitulated at 32,700-ish level, which is 1,000 points, and bounced right back about 300 points, 400, 500 points, 500 points. So it's completely midway. So we sold off 1,000, we came off with a 500, somewhere we're in mid range here, okay? So it's not the end of the world, but kind of like showing you what kind of atmosphere we're trading in a very directionalist kind of trading, okay? But when we look at the U.S. markets, the NASDAQ did sell off and did not bounce, okay? This is the important part, did not bounce. Had a little bit of a bounce intraday, but altogether, it did not bounce for its highs of 12,000, okay? So we're at 11,000, and the tech stocks are showing weakness. When we look at Apple stock, it's right there on its low, making a further low, but not a complete low for the year, okay? It's just touching that low of the year that we hit back in June, and that's important to note. Now, looking at some of the other big tech stocks, Facebook just trading sideways, Microsoft just saving itself on that downside. What is interesting, Tesla tumbles from 137 down to 125, and this is something that I mentioned the other day. Any other time that you're going to have a sell-off, Tesla would be the one to sell off. I mean, this is just such easy money, okay, across the board, just selling off so aggressively on the downside and just really reaping havoc to itself after Elon Musk's debacle, I guess you call it, with Twitter or whatever it is. But you could see that this is just a downwards momentum here. You can't see it on a 1-hour chart. Let's see if we can. I mean, you know, I don't. You can only see it at a 1-hour chart, really. I mean, this is really something that has, you know, capitulated over quite some time, and just from $300 down to $125. But there's still move on the downside to make some money. Lastly, looking at Intel, also selling off down here to $25.98. But again, you know, it's saving itself, but it's flirting with disaster. All of them are flirting on the downside. I'm wondering if this is just holding off until January 1st. Just keep that in mind. That's a page turner as we go into 2023. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we're trading at 16,800. Not doing much, just trading sideways, at least for now. Want to wish everybody happy holidays, a safe and responsible weekend, and God bless. Thank you all.